Hello everyone and welcome back to the Heffer Hunters podcast. I'm your host Dan the Geezer. I'm with my co-host Curry Too Spicy, and today we've got Treacle on for a lovely old time. Anyway, we'll throw it to Gin.
So, Alice, how are you doing?
Yes. Pretty good.
How's your day been?
Shit, I only had half of it because I woke up at like 4.
Mm.
But
4. So,
4.
mad, 8 hours ago.
What about your lectures? Let's just move past that. Oh, right. Our sleep schedules have been shit as well at the minute. We've been up till like bloody. How long have we been up till? 9 in the morning.
Yeah, well, we fixed it. We had a period of time where our sleep schedule was terrible, beyond terrible.
Yeah.
Sorry, we probably were waking you up as you live near us, but we then fixed it, and then literally it was one night that we stayed up late.
Yeah.
And then
He's fucked it again.
Fucked it.
You got to be very careful with a shit sleep schedule. It's very, very poor, one could say.
How's your day been today, Dan?
My day, it's kind of been non-existent as well. I'm not really going to lie. I mean, I've been chilling with Eugene and lovely old Ryan for quite some time. We had a Nerf gun battle. Bosh. You know, we all love Ryan Wilkerson for his invention of catch the bullet. He obviously we've got some new Nerf guns, which we'll talk about in a minute as well. But yeah, we've been having epic Nerf battles. They're very epic. How's your day been, Ginny?
My day has been great. Well, I like how we say this as if we haven't spent every minute.
Oh no, but just to clarify for the podcast, Gin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do have something to talk about just before we get into our guest. So, over the weekend, I went to go visit my mate Millie. My whole group, we went up in a car, drove up, went to go visit her, and it made me realise that the difference between a small uni, which we're at, compared to such a big uni like Birmingham.
Yeah.
They have everything there. We are living. It's beyond, like, we went clubbing, so that's what the aim was.
Yeah.
And I had Captain Morgan's little small bottle. So we decided we'll pray in Millie's flat. So I had that to myself. And then Millie's friends came over, and I fell asleep on the table. I just fully gone. Before we even went clubbing. Yeah. So we then go to get a bus, and I can't remember whether we got the bus or we got an Uber. I remember there being a conversation, but we got to the club, and Harvey fell over, and that's all I remember. Oh, I'll get into what I really want to talk about here. So Tom and I are the singles of our group. So we both were like, we're clubbing. We might as well go in prowl. However, perhaps he's a bit too predatory. That's maybe not the right word. Anyway, well, actually kind of came across that way, but so I'm there, and I keep forgetting that I have long hair, and in a club, every time they've told me I take my hat off, so I don't like style my hair in a way where I don't look home. Look, if I take this hat off right now, it's not good.
It's valid. It's valid. I can't lie.
So I'd had hat hair. I'm in this club, and me and Tom were going round, and in Tom's words, it looked like I was pinging off my head. All I had was drink, just to clarify, and apparently I was just jumping around with my hair like this, and I kept like elbowing people by accident. I was a state. It was not a fun experience. And have you ever seen when like one of your friends will be making out with someone at the club, and you're like, oh, I'll get a clip, sly little video, just because funny. Drunk me doesn't know what sly is, so say this mic is Tom making out with a girl. I was there like this. So I cop-blocked the shit out of him and got some weird looks, rightfully so. But yeah, that does...
Fair enough.
That was a bit long.
What was that over for your weekend?
Just for the weekend, yeah. I just thought...
I did Jack Diddley squat on my weekend. I mean, actually, not going to lie. We had a really good, nice, like, Captain Jack Sparrow marathon. I forgot what the movies are called.
I missed out.
Pirates of the Caribbean. We were watching the first 3, which is pretty epic. I think Alice joined us for those, didn't you? Was that yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah, time always meshes together for me. It's very awful.
Time flies by when you're with Treacle.
Time does fly by. But, yeah, we were just watching some movies. Didn't really get up to much.
We've basically made my room into the movie room at this point.
Oh, yeah. We've got some hardcore tech in there.
Once the sofa comes, once that inflatable sofa comes,
yeah.
Zach will be there with his arm around Treacle.
No more complaining about having nowhere to sleep.
Yeah.
Because he's got a fucking sofa bed.
Yeah.
It'll be very litty.
It will be very scrumptious.
Very scrumptious.
Not the word I was looking for, but we hesitated too long there and I had to just go with whatever came to my head. So.
Morty.
Alice.
Yes.
How was your week been? I asked you how your day was, but how's your week been? fuck is going on behind us?
Nothing matters. Right, let's continue.
Um,
They're playing catch the bullet. It's okay.
what was this week?
This week we did our Secret Santas.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to get to. So, Alice,
Not that
whoever
she'd
did
know
your
much
Secret
about that.
Santa obviously delivered their stuff to the wrong address and maybe messed up. Don't know who that was. Oh, that's me. So, Dan, we want to talk about what you got for Secret Santa.
I'm not gonna lie, this is flowing very poorly, but
It is. When does it?
all right, okay. So I had Beth, Ryan's missus, for Secret Santa. She got me. Sorry. She got me a Ryan Wilkinson shirt. It was pretty epic. It was a
first edition of the merch.
It was a Gucci shirt, basically, that she stitched Ryan Wilkinson into, and it's got a can on it because Ryan is an absolute fucking weapon and destroys cans out of rage and shows people his aftermath.
He does.
You know, but with that I also got some amaretto stuff, some nice, bit of alcohol, and some bum and face soap, so I don't wipe my ass with the same soap that I used to wipe my face. It's pretty epic,
Who actually uses soap these days?
I use fucking shit in a tub, whatever it is. Is it a tub? I don't fucking know.
Just
a little
soap.
bottle. Yeah,
Little
just
pump,
a
little
little.
pump things.
Yeah, the little squeezy ones. But
That'll probably improve your skincare routine.
shush. But yeah, I got Zach for Secret Santa, the person that I was supposed to give stuff to.
Who's been in both episodes.
Yep, I got him. What was it? The Virgin Suicides book.
Great book.
Because of something.
Something.
I got him an Attack on Titan poster because he's a fucking weeb. And basically, here's my main complaint, quite frankly, with Parcel Force. If you're listening, Parcel Force, I want to have it out with your fucking CEO.
Force.
I'm coming for you, Parcel Force, because I fucking put a thing in about a month ago, a request from Spreadshirt to make me a Frazzle Lip apron of gin, because gin gets a Frazzle Lip.
I don't think anyone's going to know what Frazzle Lip
is. A Frazzle Lip is a battered ass lip, like a bacon lip. You know, like when the skin's really fucking dry and peely.
Yeah.
So I coined the term Frazzle Lip. And I was like, oh, that's funny. And Zach always laughs when I say Frazzle Lip. So why not get him some Frazzle Lip apron? Because he's a Barbie, Might as well throw in a little apron. He already knows about it by this point, because I was like, well, it's Secret Santa Day. I can't say, oh yeah, here's your £10 worth of gifts when I spent a bit over the top.
A little bit.
But yeah, Parcel Force have missed my fucking delivery 3 times.
Fuck them.
And said that they left me a little tracking sheet, and they never did. Because I live in uni accommodation. I guess they're like, nope. But the whole thing is, what I was told when I moved to Winchester Uni, which is where we go, all doxed.
Shout out.
Basically, I was told that obviously this is me using not enough common sense, so it is technically my fault as well, that all of the couriers around here know where our post room is, and that know that the address is like West Downs and all the rest, where they're supposed to be delivered to. And I was like, oh, alright, well I guess if I just put down somewhere put down where we live.
Yep. Oh.
Well,
Shame you didn't say the address.
Yeah, I almost did.
did.
But yeah, I was told if I put down just that, then they deliver it there. But no, 3 fucking... And plus, Parcel Force literally take it back to every Basingstoke Depot, which is nearby here.
You're not salty about this at all, are you?
I'm not salty. No. But every single fucking time, it's always taken to fucking Basingstoke Depot, and I'm like, well, wasted my day again, fucking hoping for this epic thing. But yeah, sorry for going on a tangent with that. I got very upset. But yeah, it's an epic apron.
Yeah. Well, my Secret Santa, who got me for Secret Santa, was none other than Ryan Wilkinson.
The big
Mr.
dog himself.
Catch the bullet.
Oh.
legend.
What did Catch the Bullet get me? 2 Nerf guns and targets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that has been a bit of fun. And he also got me a photography book, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be making those pages sticky. But
and also
be better. Well, yeah, and then that was really fun. And then we so we have 2 Nerf guns. So now we've got, well, for Dan's birthday, Treacle here got Dan a Nerf gun, well, equivalent, and
Gucci
Dan, you
Nerf
also
gun.
got a
Gucci.
and then Ryan got given a Nerf gun from Zachary.
Oh yes.
So we now have around 4 Nerf guns, which we engage in Nerf wars at around 4 a.m.
Yes.
I feel 8 again. It
You
is
feel
fun. Yeah.
I feel vindicated as the king of Hungerford, that basically I have power to wage war among my civilians, you know.
We didn't spend 3 hours at like 3 a.m.
for
doing
titles that
Nerf
I've made
targets.
up. Yeah. Right, let me just clarify what King of Hungerford means, because I have mentioned a few things in the past saying, do you want to lose your Royal Knight privilege? Basically, I'm from Hungerford in the UK, which is this tiny little fucking town in the middle of bumfuck nowhere in Berkshire. Basically, we used to be like, oh, your group security guard if someone was acting like a
Like
hard
the whole
ass or
group
something.
leadership.
Yeah, and then we'd be like, oh, group leader told you to do this, you will follow group leader and shit like that. Originally it was Jin, but then I mutinied Jin, and now I'm group leader.
Got dethroned.
But
White privilege.
it's literally just, excuse me, how dare you? I can't say it's not, but basically, so from there, Zach basically coined me King of Hungerford, and that I'm the Hungerford leader.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just fucking unravelled since. I think Jin's fucking... What are you, Jin? What are all of your group names?
Group Mike, Group Assassin, Group Hitman.
Yeah.
These are all just to do with Nerf
Group
guns.
Mike was from Breaking Bad, by the way.
We
Mike
love
Herman
Breaking
Trout.
Bad.
We do.
We watch it together religiously,
Oh, yes.
and yeah,
It's very fun.
it
We
is
love Saul
very
Goodman, you know.
yes.
You love Breaking Bad, yes.
Yeah.
Alice, we
Yeah.
make you watch it. You're not allowed to leave your room.
All right, then. But yeah, that's where that all came from. Royal Knight,
excellent.
you know.
Big up.
What are you?
Oh.
Group what?
Group
What
ally.
group? Are you group ally?
Group ally.
Yeah, group
Yep.
LGBT.
No, he's group ally.
Oh.
Oh,
All right,
He's the
okay,
one
let's
ally.
continue.
Group Alice.
Alice. Fair enough.
Well, so then, Alice,
Yeah.
you mentioned that you want to talk about a certain area of topics when you wanted to come on the podcast.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start with that?
Should we just clarify
I was
what you'd
born
like
a
to?
man.
Oh. Okay. No way. Were you actually?
No.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Bad.
Oh. No. All right.
We need to redo that.
Righty, Alice. So, you know, obviously you've asked us to come on the podcast to talk about some trans issues and stuff like that, or not even necessarily trans issues, just sharing your, journey as a trans woman, and maybe, give some advice to other trans people or people questioning their gender or anything like that. So, me and Jen have sat down, figured out a few questions to ask you, and obviously we just sort of go from there, see what type of things, maybe have happened, what maybe negative or positive experiences, things that have changed in your life since. Righty, Jen.
So, first question is, what were the key signs you knew? Because I think you mentioned previously that you didn't quite find out. Well, you didn't quite know you were trans at first. You thought you were gay at first. Is that true?
Yeah.
So-
I originally thought I was gay because the basic signs of I like men.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went from there, and it was a lot of peer pressure from people growing up being like, you're gay, you're gay.
Yeah.
So I just went from there without giving myself any space or time to think about it. But I think
You've quite recently come out as trans, haven't you? It's
Yeah.
been
in
quite
like
recent.
June.
In June.
So only a few months ago.
So how has that process been? Has it been an easy process emotionally and with things like NHS trying to start the journey of transitioning, or where you are with that? There's like 8 questions there, but tackle it.
Oh, I've got a specific question for you.
Mhm.
How do you feel the NHS treats people with like was it gender dysphoria? Morphia? I can't. One of
Gender
them.
dysphoria.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're good at recognizing it and being like, you have it,
Mm-hmm.
because it took like one visit from my GP to get on the waiting list.
Yeah.
But the wait is like so
So long.
shit
So-
and so
yeah.
long. It's like 3 years, and do they
And
expect
what's that for? To undergo like surgeries and
Hormones.
stuff? Hormones.
Just for
not even
hormones.
Just
surgery,
hormones.
just hormones, like the first step, like
Shit.
most.
I have a question. Obviously, if you don't know, that's fine. But once you start hormones, how long after do they do the surgery, or do you even have to start sort of hormones to do the surgery? Can you like do one without the other? Oops. One without the other.
Um,
I'm very sorry.
We're keeping that.
I think
I
it's
think I need some
usually,
fucking
like,
hormones after that.
you need,
Joke.
You already said that, so you have to cut that.
We don't have to cut that,
usually
that's
need, like 1 or 2 years, like a couple years of socially being trans to go through surgery.
Yeah.
But hormones, with or without, I think you can just do the surgery.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Don't quote me on that. That might be wrong. But
Obviously, we're not scientists. We're just social people.
Also, just to clarify, we're not exactly
the most educated
on this.
And obviously, if it looks like we're being desensitive, we're not.
just-
We're just trying our best to, find out more about
Yeah.
a situation that
Mhm.
we can't relate to in the slightest, obviously, because we're not going through shit Alice has to go through. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
we recognise the struggle. Allies, am I right?
Yeah. Mhm. So
Right.
you mentioned there about the barriers to the waiting list, and you're currently on a 3-year waiting list.
I was, and then I turned into an adult, and they were like, "You need to change waiting lists," and I was like, "I'm not doing that."
So does that mean like you'd have to reset
Yeah.
to another waiting list?
So you're not on the waiting list anymore
No.
then?
You've just
Shit.
said
I was
fuck
just
it.
like,
I'm
I
gonna
give
go-
up.
Do you have
I'm
to
gonna-
pay anything to get like that sort of
It's
stuff
under
done?
the NHS.
Privately, yes, but with the NHS, it's all free.
And obviously, it'd be quicker if you went private.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna do it that way. 'Cause
Fair enough.
Sounds-
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
fuck that. We're not American. We don't pay for fucking healthcare.
You mentioned that you recently came out in June, was it? How has you felt like people have treated you? How have it been? Like, how is that?
Like, have
Journey
people
been- 'cause-
negatively like turned around and been like, oh, maybe, the ones that I hear all the time are, oh, you're a fake woman, oh, you're a man, shit like that. Do you still get that sort of
Transphobic
like,
shit.
transphobic stuff?
it's mostly people that I don't know, but like my friends and my family, they've all been like very understanding.
Yep.
And like nothing from them,
Mm.
well, apart from a few, but
Apart from the older ones.
oh,
That's
yeah.
it's the old dog new tricks mentality,
Yeah.
Fucking hell,
Mhm.
the worst one. But yeah, so like general synopsis, everyone's been kind of
Yeah.
supporting like close people.
But like in my hometown, the environment is very different to where we are now.
Yeah.
Because like here, the issues are less with being trans and more of just like being a woman and
Mhm.
being like objectified.
Yeah.
But hometown is like both.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So would you find that well, let's say, do you find after, coming out as a trans woman that you get preyed on more or anything like that? Like, did you not notice things prior to fully, coming out as a trans woman, maybe that you have now, like anything socially?
It's definitely harder to do like everyday things, like just even walking down the street, people
Yeah.
look at you differently and sexualize you.
Do you
and shit
think
like
that maybe trans people are... Do you even think it's a trans issue or just a female issue at that point?
I think it's just a woman's issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask, obviously, do you feel like maybe men sort of prey on the fact that, you're a trans woman or,
Fetishize.
sort
Yeah.
of fetishize that?
Mhm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I
Any
get that a
experience
lot.
of that? Yeah.
Well,
You mentioned that you found Winchester a lot safer on, the trans side of things. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because of the universities and the
Mhm.
students there are very accepting and just decent people.
Mhm.
And I think the older people that you see, they just don't get it.
mm.
Mm.
So they would more likely judge me for dressing a certain way than just being trans.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah.
I do have to commend the uni on one thing, though. Other than, obviously, I don't know how the systemic stuff works, but I've always seen lecturers wearing, like, the
Pronouns.
pride, what's it called? Like, the rainbow stuff.
Yeah.
Like, around their lanyards and stuff. Like, obviously, we have these signs, like, up there. Says, anti-discrimination, basically. So it definitely draws in the message that it doesn't stand for, bigotry and shit like that.
It's
So.
not just the students, it's
Yeah,
whole
like
system
you
of-
could
Yeah.
say that maybe even the lecturers stand with your people. Or, yeah, like I guess it's just like it's nice to see maybe like old people wearing like fucking
Yeah.
like a rainbow lanyard where you might expect that they wouldn't. So
I think also with Winchester, where there's a lot of people who are on creative courses, because I think there's quite a lot of creative courses here. I think we're all on creative courses.
Yeah.
People there are less bigoted and they're more not open-minded, as if it's saying open-minded feels weird to say, but like they're more understanding, they're less stuck in their ways of just old school bigotry and shit like that. So I think that might be a part that plays. But yeah.
Any other questions, Jin?
So I don't know how educated you are on this part, but I've always seen in headlines you see trans people mainly getting just attacked, and they try and use the whole trans athlete route, and especially with it's mainly on a man transitioning into a woman, and it'll be on sports such as running I think there was a recent one last Olympics. How do you feel about that whole competitiveness, or is it human rights issue? Like, where does that
I'm
sit?
really just not educated on all that stuff because sometimes when I look into it, I just get a bit like sensitive about it because some people would just like use that excuse to just
Using it as an excuse just to be transphobic.
yeah.
Yeah, because I think when I looked into it myself, it just seemed like it was like a fake talking point in order to be transphobic, and it was just a bunch of transphobes just pushing it to hide them being transphobic, to say, oh, I'm just trying to be competitive. I mean, if it's especially in America, it'd be like not even college level sports try and discriminate. It's I don't really.
I do have a question to ask you. Obviously, I've spoken with you about it before, but what are your, like, I always keep talking about this fucker all the time, but I think maybe having a trans person's perspective on this could be quite valuable, because obviously Andrew Tate, he I think he's had a few naughty things to say about trans people. He's been like, I don't know why a man would ever want to do that to themselves and shit like that. Like, how do you feel like his harmful rhetoric like influences like trans people?
It's disgusting that like someone with that much like fame or like
influence
is allowed to say those things and almost get away with it. And
do you think it's harmful to your
very
community?
harmful, especially
to like children and stuff like that?
or like teenagers growing up.
Like, do you reckon? Yeah, because obviously there's like massive suicide rates with children, like trans, like teenagers, or people questioning, and obviously where there is this really long waiting list, it's not like you can just fix it with just a snap of your fingers, and where you have someone saying, oh fuck you, this is right, this is wrong, sort of drilling it into especially children as well, because obviously everyone around them is going to be saying the same sort of shit. Obviously I think it's very harmful and could increase hate crime and shit like that towards especially trans women, like that community. I think it's quite poor from AT.
So I was doing a bit of research. Didn't like looking into statistics too much. However, I think we've all noticed there's been a massive increase, and a very good increase, not good, but like positive increase in people coming out in not just the trans community but gay community, the whole of the LGBT plus community. And why do you think that is?
I think because people are more accepting and open-minded about like new ideas and open to change. So obviously there will be like an increase in people being like, oh, I'm gay, oh, I'm non-binary, oh, I'm trans, because there's also like more sources to reach out to people and help.
People can find also communities and people
like through social media and stuff.
Would you find that obviously I'm going to say, so I'm playing devil's advocate again, because I don't necessarily think this is true, but I do think there is somewhere in the media that finds these niche issues with trans people and stuff like that and sort of glorifies them. Like, do you think like when media companies like film producers and shit basically go, oh, we're going to make our character a trans person, do you think that sort of glorifies the journey that a trans person has to take, or do you think it really sort of shows the pain that someone has to go through?
At this point I'll take it. It's representation, so it's better that than nothing, but a lot of it is just pandering.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not helping.
Obviously I don't necessarily agree with that. I'm just saying in general, like, I have noticed where obviously this new wave of I'm not even saying it's a new wave, but obviously people becoming more comfortable with coming out with whatever. I feel like some media, the top 1% of all media companies, I feel, kind of try and, like, same with like race and stuff like that, they'll try and go, oh yeah, we're really progressive, but I feel like it is a lot of pandering over in the
trying to meet the quotas.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just sort of pushing this diversity thing where maybe it's not necessarily just for that, it's just to make money. Do you know what I mean? Like, the be-all and end-all is just for them to make money. But obviously if it comes down to representation, that's a great thing, obviously, because it shows it's not alienating trans people or gay people. But it's always a double-edged sword, because I find sometimes they really do try and push it further, push it down people's throats, and it could cause backlash. You know what I mean? Because obviously you get this and that and the other about trans people, gay people, and it can cause more harm than good sometimes.
Kind of linked to that is thoughts on when you see. I think it's probably actually the same point when I think about it, but companies, especially during Pride Month, you see everyone suddenly go, "Oh, we're gonna stick a pride flag on everything," but then if you look into their company and the way they're look into them as a company, they're not actually doing jack shit, and they are actually majorly profiting off of it. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Because
it's vile. It's just more pandering, trying to get more money. That's just it. At the end of the day, they just want more money. They just want
capitalizing basically off people's pain and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty blatantly pandering. Obviously Pride Month is great and all, but I feel like media companies, I don't know why I said that. I think companies
try and capitalize
on social media should leave it at the fucking door. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure. Like, go, oh, we're very proud. Like, maybe put one thing out, but don't try and change your whole. Like, let's say Hugo Boss did Pride Month. Yeah. I'm sorry, they're fucking started by the Nazis. Do you know what I mean? Or Volkswagen. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell, like Jesus. Like, don't try and obviously reinvent your image. Don't stick with the painful shit, but don't fucking switch and pretend like you're something that you're not. Do you know what I mean? I think it's fucking.
Or if
terrible.
You're gonna do it, don't just put a new facade of we're allies, all this kind of shit.
Because as soon as fucking is June Pride Month?
Yeah.
So as soon as it turns July, they're like, oh, see you later. Back to Xbox normal profile picture. It's fucking bad.
Literally.
If they want to be a true ally and they really do believe that, I think they should just keep the fucking profile picture. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes me think of when you had in schools, there'd be like the teacher would have just a poster up, and they'd be like, "Yeah, but you're not really doing jack shit."
Yeah.
They try.
It's like, don't bully each other, but if you do, it's all right.
Here's a slap on the wrist.
I have a question. How many toxic men, like, I mean, in the way of being, obviously the grounds of being transgender, how many men are like, oh, like, this is obviously before you come out, this is my question. Obviously I don't want to ask too much about that because it could be painful, but how many men would be like, oh, because I would consider myself to have hung around with quite a lot of toxic people who would have been like, oh, transgender, blah blah blah, men should be men sort of shit, which is obviously not the best.
It's foul.
But what are your experiences with men basically telling you that you're maybe too effeminate, or being gay, like, obviously because you were out as a gay person at the time, what were your experiences with that?
Horrible, like growing up with that in schools and like being told that I just shouldn't be myself, and that I was too feminine or too certain type of way, and that I should just hide that.
Yeah.
It actually fucked with me up, that I'm still dealing with that today.
Yeah.
Of like having like issues with like actually being myself.
Do you think schools should teach like LGBTQ like awareness stuff? Because obviously when I was growing up I didn't get any of that. Like, it was like, oh, I don't know about you lot, but it was sort of like looked upon, like, you'd learn from your friends and your family, and it wasn't necessarily put in the best light. And obviously people who were obviously closeted or out would not have had the best time, or someone who's slightly more effeminate as a man, I'm saying, because obviously I didn't I grew up with too many females being the way I was, but yeah, I just find that I've kind of forgotten where I was going, I'm not gonna lie. What was I saying?
Should stuff like
right, with schools. Do you think, like, in general, schools should like sort of put it into a curriculum, saying, or even in history classes, just like giving the the general struggles and saying that here's the resources if you are struggling with this sort of stuff, because obviously most of the suicides come from teenagers because they haven't got the resources to change, to what's the word, transition, shit like that. Yeah, I just find that schools probably don't do enough, personally, because I never saw anything about it. Obviously, I never had to deal with that, but what are your thoughts on that?
They definitely should do more. It should be something that should be like normalised and taught as just like, this is normal.
It's quite a taboo subject, isn't it? Yeah.
So, I went to a private school, and it was full of egos, and it was mixed school. Is that boys and girls? Is that what do you call it? That. And I always found that, well, during my time there, someone transitioned, and especially in that environment, I saw it must have been hell. And like, how was your environment when you were coming out? You mentioned your family was so good, and you said, what time was it? June. So when you finished school. So was that a part to play? Do you feel like finishing A levels?
Yeah, I think I took finishing college as a point to just move on and just be Alice, because it's not that I didn't think the college and the people would be accepting. It's more of they know who I was, and it would be all questions and stuff like that, and I didn't want to deal with that. So it's like when I finish my A levels and I go to uni, I'll just use that as a point to.
And I guess obviously you wouldn't want anyone saying like, "Oh, you're an attention seeker" or anything like that. Yeah.
Just to interrupt, just before we like wrap up this area of conversation, I always found at school, particularly, and when you were talking to people who weren't very educated on trans issues and just LGBT plus community in general, is people don't know the difference between gender and sex, and a lot of people are just blatantly just
stupid,
dumb, ignorant, because I've had a conversation with someone and I'd be saying, oh well, that's sex, not gender, and they'd be like, no. We were arguing different things, and I feel like 90% of the time is, if people just aren't educated the difference between sex and gender. Sex is genitalia based, gender is a social construct, like just the basics that I think I feel like schools didn't really teach us that, which is such a fundamental point. And it was more so,
I mean, I've got a comment for this. I mean, I remember being told in science that there's only 2 genders. Like I'd have
they used the word genders, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, no, not even like curriculum based. Like I'd have like this really like arsehole teacher back at my old school who would be like sort of leaning into like transphobia and shit like that, and be like, oh yeah, no, that's all, or what's all this they them stuff, it's not real, it's just he, she, that's all you are, that's your gender, you're born your gender, you stay your gender. I actually remember that. Unlocked a new memory for me. Yeah, it's fucking awful. I mean, imagine being someone who's growing up with that, hearing that from your fucking teacher of all people, someone that you should look up to. I think also teachers need to sort of have this discussion with children in a much more, especially with teenage boys, like you should definitely fucking not be so blunt about it, or, and if, maybe leave the politics out of it, do you know what I mean? If you can't agree with it, just shush. That's what I'm saying.
It's not a political issue, it's a human rights issue.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people look at everything. See,
it's not a leftist thing, it's not a right, it's just...
They blur the line way too... people blur the line way too much and try and make everything politics. I think it's more of an issue that America does as well. And it just ends up fucking up the argument to the point where you're like, maybe it is a politics issue, do you know what I mean? But it really isn't. It's more of a human rights issue, 100%.
Yeah. That's it.
You shouldn't ever be punished for being the person you are.
Exactly.
But anyway, sorry, Jen. I didn't mean to completely fucking cut you off there.
You wrapped up for me.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, I'm perfect. But I've got one more question for you, Alice. The fated question of the day, just to finish up, obviously, our area of conversation again. And then we'll get to the lighter-hearted stuff. One bit of advice for your fellow community.
Always put yourself first, and don't let anyone else's bullshit stop you
from being a slay queen.
Queen. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Ally moment.
Hashtag ally.
Righty. We got any lighter-hearted topics to talk about?
So then, we mentioned that we were doing creative degrees. What course are you doing at uni? If you don't mind saying.
Film studies.
Film studies. So, I like films a lot. I'm doing film production, and I've got some movies here, and I want you to say yes or no, which will mean like shit or not. We'll go shit or not.
Shit or not.
And bear in mind, these are some of my favourite movies, so please answer wisely.
Okay.
Alright. The Goonies.
Oh. Do I get to comment on
not
this as well?
Shit.
Yeah.
Not
both.
Shit at all.
Not shit.
Classic.
Right. Actually, we have 3 categories. Not shit.
Half shit.
And then
soil.
Banger.
I think we should have soil, not shit, and banger.
Alright, yeah, alright. So, not shit, banger, or not shit for Goonies?
Banger.
Banger.
Banger?
Yeah.
Banger. Meet the Robinsons.
Meet the Robinsons? What's that one again? Tell me the plot. I've never watched that.
You have not watched. You need
I'm
to watch.
uncultured as fuck though.
Have you not watched either?
No.
What?
Fucking hell.
What a pussy.
Not a film shit.
Bridge to Terabithia.
What?
Do I just have a weird childhood?
Soil. That is Soil.
Have you never
Soil.
watched it?
No, I haven't. It's Soil if I haven't watched it.
Flushed Away.
Oh, banger!
Oh,
banger,
banger.
banger, banger, banger.
That shit
Cultural
slaps.
reset.
Also,
I
why
love
does
Flushed
everyone
Away.
look like the main character from that? Every guy.
Me. Do I look like him?
You look like the frog.
I'm gonna cry.
I can't see.
Which frog?
Okay.
The French one?
Just for
Hopefully.
context. Just for context. I will get this.
Let me be the French frog, please. Zach gave me the French frog's fucking mustache last time. He did my hair.
Oh.
Don't do me like that, Jed. Come on, please. You look like a fucking slug, so shush. No.
You asked which one. Alright. Madagascar. I'm pronouncing
not
this wrong.
shit. Not shit.
Banger.
I think,
That's my feel-good film.
Ooh.
I think
If
it's
ever feel
not
like
shit
I play Madagascar.
because I think the first one.
It's the best one.
The first one's the best one. I think the second one was poo. I think the third one was decent. It was good. And I don't remember if there's another one after
No,
that.
it's just very.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the first one was definitely a banger. The second
Mhm.
one was Soil. The third one was not shit.
Fight Club.
I've never watched it,
What the fuck?
but I know
Controversial opinion. Meh.
I've never watched Fight Club,
The
but I know
plot
the song
twist
comes from
makes
it.
the film. If it wasn't for the plot twist, meh.
I've watched the. I've heard the music. You know the. That one.
Yeah.
That one.
If
Oh,
the
you know
plot
what fucking
twist,
song? It is? Oh, I'm getting angry.
Fucking hell.
Call me a fucking frog. Call me a toad. Yeah. Angry moment.
So you haven't watched Bridge to fucking hell. Alright. Bolt.
Oh, not shit. It's not the
yeah,
best.
not sure.
Banger. We've got
I'm the hamster.
Ryan Wilkerson in the background, which is not on camera.
He looks like the fucking
The fucking yeah.
the little gerbil and the fucking the hamster in the ball.
Fucking no, stop violating him. Alright.
It's in his belly.
Yeah.
Ryan, get him camera. And
He
shoot his
just
face.
after you said that, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna come on camera.
Shush, Jen.
So
Pussy. I'm sorry, that was rude.
Bolt. So both banger, yeah.
Not shit.
It was not shit.
Miley Cyrus's voice bangs.
How's Bolt one of your favourite films?
Yeah.
I have 70 on here. We're going through
70?
I'm going through all 70.
I would.
No,
Yeah,
we're not going through
15.
70.
15.
What?
15.
50.
15.
69.
Alright.
So not 70.
That was so rude.
Have you watched?
No, inappropriate.
Yeah, come on.
Class, Alice. Come on.
What's that?
The Perks of a Wallflower.
Don't know what that is.
I know what it is. Haven't seen it yet.
Soil.
You need to watch that and read it.
Soil.
Great book.
Soil.
Gladiator.
Is that the one?
Are you not entertained? That one.
Soil.
Is that the one
I'm
where they do
not
the
a
Sparta
man.
kick?
Well,
Not shit.
No, that's right.
soil.
That's Troy actually. I'm thinking of Troy.
Soil.
Or 300.
Soil.
Soil. It's Soil.
You're doing
Soil.
soil. You soil for Gladiator.
Soil.
Fucking hell.
Sorry.
Joker, the new one.
Not shit. It wasn't as good as
It's
everyone
a
let
bit
on.
overrated, but it's
Do
good.
you know what I would say about it?
Mm-hmm.
It definitely shows the anti-hero sort of
It's a good anti-hero movie.
the anti-hero sort of narrative a lot more than just going the Joker, big bad villain. You know,
Mhm.
so smart.
Mhm.
You know, but not shit because it's not the best film.
I don't know if you've watched half these. Superbad.
Oh,
Oh.
not shit. Not shit.
Not shit. It's not the best, but
I
it's
feel
good.
like
It's
It's
good.
alright.
As soon as everyone goes, oh, that's a great movie, everyone goes, no, I don't like it that much.
It's alright.
Just to be,
It's alright.
yeah.
Well, it's not the best film, is it? Super bad.
Yeah.
Dead Poet Society.
Never watched Soil.
Fuck, you have
Not seen it.
shit fucking. 16 Wishes.
Never watched Soil.
Fucking hell. Alright, we'll go for a series here. Breaking Bad.
Ooh, banger!
I've only seen the bits.
That you've watched with us.
That yeah.
It's the best.
So,
It's-
soil. Soil.
How dare you?
Shit.
It's my
You know what,
favourite.
Alice.
Shit.
Walter,
Alright, Alice.
put your dick away, Walter.
What's your top 3 movies? And now I'm going to say if there's shit or not now, because I'm hurt.
I'll do 4
Oh, yeah. Right.
because
Do what you want.
that's in my brain. Okay. Jennifer's Body. Classic.
That is a banger.
You totally know it, yeah.
Yeah, obviously I know.
Carrie.
Carrie? Wait,
Carrie.
the one
Carrie.
where she like puts her hand through the floor at the end.
What the fuck is Carrie?
Carrie.
It's when she's at prom and she kills everyone.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
right at the end, She gets buried,
Yeah.
and she sticks her hand through the
Oh,
grave.
yes.
Yeah, that's the only part I remember from that.
I've not watched that movie.
She's like
love
does she
that.
have like devil powers or something? And her mum's like really abusive and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, I remember that one.
Mm.
That's alright.
Shrek 2. I'm literally.
Carrie, Shrek 2.
Shrek 2.
Is that your favourite movie, Dan?
Huh?
Is that your favourite movie, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the best Shrek.
Yeah.
What else?
You said you had 4.
I'm going to be basic white guy and say Black Swan.
That was so...
I'm going to count. Right, I'm going to start mine, but I'm going to count 2 of these to only be
I
one
didn't ask
because they're
about
from a
2.
franchise.
We're coming back to me at the end. I'm going to say another 2 just because I need to say them.
Right. Obviously, my favourite film franchise is Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'd say Curse of the Black Pearl and At World's End are my 2 favourites of that. But I'd probably say that's like one film because, you know, I don't want 2 from the same. I used to be a really big Harry Potter fan. So I liked the first one. It was alright. And then the rest was shit.
Shit.
The second one, remind me of the second one. I haven't watched it in
can't
ages.
remember,
Oh,
but
shit,
I remember
yeah.
liking that one more.
I liked the
Don't
Philosopher's...
That's it. All the whole
Philosopher's
storyline is...
Stone. It's fucking epic.
Also, you
That's
brought
not-
up Harry Potter.
Obviously, Shrek 2.
J.K. Rowling.
Shrek 2, I'd agree.
Oh! That
J.K.
did,
Rowling.
not to go back to a previous point.
Do it.
J.K. Rowling, how do we...
I hate Harry Potter.
No, there's 2 points here I want to bring up. First off, her being a massive TERF, which, for those who don't know, is trans-exclusionary...
Trans-exclusive radical feminist.
That's it. That's what I knew.
What does that mean?
Like, they will
She's a
support the
fem-
LGBT...
Oh, she's a feminist but denies, like, trans women.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But she'll, like, be like, oh, I love
So
gay
stupid
people. And
bitch.
So she's a
lesbians,
stupid
but
fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. So, she's obviously a TERF, but now Dumbledore's gay.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
How? I don't... Makes no sense.
The math is not mathing because if 2 + 2 is 4,
Like, surely if you
what
support...
the fuck is that? Yes, and that's such a big thing of like people supporting the L and the G and the B, but they suddenly forget the alphabet and suddenly there's no T.
Slay.
It's like, but I'm not giving that woman any minute of my time.
Mhm.
She's irrelevant. Her opinion means shit to me.
She should have stayed homeless.
Yeah.
Fuck that bitch.
I mean, Harry Potter was alright.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
films are good. The films are, the books,
It's okay.
utter shit. Films,
Films were alright.
yeah.
The books were fucking long. I'm not gonna lie. I tried to read the first one. It's like
The part
fucking
she
hell.
did was
I don't even
shit.
know what's going on because I'm illiterate.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Alright.
Anyway, as I was saying, Shrek 2.
Yes.
Shrek 2's epic.
Sorry, Mike.
4th favourite. I don't know. El Camino, Breaking Bad, even that shit. I just can't think of another one. Right,
well-
Jin, yours.
I'm gonna say another 3 just to be normal people.
Bad bitches.
You haven't read... Why am I more white girl than you?
Your soil boy. Oh, that sounded racist. I didn't mean it that way.
Right, I didn't mean that way. But you've not watched Normal People
No.
or read the book.
No,
Sally Rooney. Does she exist in your head?
no.
Who?
S-
Soil Rooney.
Sally Rooney. What the fuck?
No.
Sorry, I've only been a white woman since June. I don't.
My bad. Alright, fair enough. And then I've got Orange is the New Black series, but bang.
That's
Very
alright. Yeah.
good.
I like
Yes.
that.
That was quite an awkward one. I wish that was my dad.
I felt like the ending was awful. I did not like how the... Who's that?
What is the end? I don't know the ending. Spoiler alert.
The lady.
So the lady
with the
larger...
the larger
Tasty, is it?
Tasty.
Yeah.
When they fuck her over.
I don't like how that ended
fucked
for
with my
her.
head.
No.
I hated that.
I thought she would have had a nice old fairy tale ending, but no.
Oh.
I still don't.
Locked away forever!
Yeah.
That's what happens when you don't watch the show.
Yeah. Well then. And then I've got
Right, you get one more. I don't care.
Schindler's List.
Oh,
I've never watched it, but
Banger.
I know of it. I definitely know of it.
Banger.
I've heard it's good.
banger.
That is
Isn't it like a
feel-good movie?
concentration camp thing?
No, it's
Just
about.
to
It's
reminisce.
basically about the Holocaust.
Yeah, I just said a concentration camp
Oh.
thing.
Yeah.
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 Right, next one.
I'll find one more.
I wonder about the questions, Jen, not your favourite film.
Oh,
I could give a
okay.
shit, I'm not gonna lie.
Wow. Songs, artists, music.
Oh, right.
I hear a lot of music from
I
your
want to
room.
start with me, right? I have a very diverse music taste. However, I'd favour Would I? I'd favourite rock,
Do you guys all have Spotify here?
but I love heavy
Apple
metal.
Music.
I was gonna say get your Spotify wraps up and we can compare them, but
I mean, I've
No,
got
mine's
a screenshot.
embarrassing anyway.
probably.
It's not.
Let me just
I remember mine off by heart. Actually, no, mine was. I don't know.
When did I screenshot it? It must have been after that.
It was off recent.
Right. Mine was, my top artists were Slipknot, Nirvana, Dizzy Rascal, Korn and Mackie G. And my top songs were Slow Chemical, Come As You Are, In Bloom, Heart Shaped Box and Even Flow by Pearl Jam.
Well, my top artist was Taylor Swift. My second top artist was Phoebe Bridgers.
Yes.
Then Bruce Springsteen. Then Tyler the Creator. And then Bakar.
I have a question.
Yes.
You're alright? Phoebe Bridgers as your second artist? Is
I love
everything
Phoebe
okay at
Bridgers.
home?
That
Is everything okay at home?
I've never listened to a single Phoebe Bridgers song. I didn't
That
actually know
shit
who that
slaps.
was until I met Jin.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, who? Phobo.
Yeah, but
I love Phobo.
FOMO.
Phobo.
What the fuck is that?
That's how you spell Phoebe. PHO.
There's an E.
B-O-E.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm being
FOMO.
dumb. Then my top songs was Agony by.
By Shush.
Yep. And then I've got Gym Class, Lil Peep, The Cut That Always Bleeds by Conan Gray, Sometimes by someone, and then Matilda by Harry Styles.
Right. I have a war to wage against Harry
More white
Styles.
girl than me.
Harry
I'm a
Styles
white girl.
makes shit music. Say nothing. I hate it. It's awful. No one can step to me on that. But then I do listen to heavy metal, so you know,
You do.
take what I
Alice,
say with a
what's
grain
your
of
music
salt.
taste? Spill.
Spill. So, anything goes, but most of the time, when I'm getting ready, it's like basic bitch, white girl, hip hop, female rap shit.
Slay shit.
Who in particular? Cupcake.
Who sings that?
Cupcake.
Cupcake's the artist.
Deep Throat by Cupcake on repeat.
Nope.
What's
Deep Throat.
Nope.
Leave the mic alone. We're clipping that. That's going to the TikTok.
Sorry, it's been a while.
Speaking about TikTok, follow the TikTok.
Just 2
Oh,
weeks.
Heffer Hunters on TikTok.
Yep, follow.
We made a
Socials.
TikTok. We got
Follow
Instagram as
them,
well.
But
Link in the
Just for a
description.
clip at the end. Alice, can you just look in the camera and go subscribe?
subscribe.
And then that one.
Subscribe.
Bosh.
Subscribe.
Thank you.
Bosh. Anyway, so
It depends on the mood. If I'm sad, basic bitch white girl Lana Del Rey will get me through it.
which
If I'm trying to feel confident and I need it and it's not working, hip hop. If I'm very, very angry and I want to scream
and chat.
at a leaf
And
Leaf.
let it all out.
and
Why a
let
leaf?
it all out.
Yeah. Look, glitching.
It's true. When I'm angry,
When you
anything else, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I
Basically, play anything and I'll probably like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been very like. Most people, when they hear heavy metal, they want to murder me because it's not good. But I think it's great.
Yeah,
I think my flatmate wants to murder us.
I have a question. Because obviously Spotify Wrapped is not necessarily reflective on what we're enjoying currently. So I would ask, what is your favourite song currently?
Let me whip it out. The Apple Music.
You can't play it though. You can't play it.
I can't say.
Wait.
Let me see. Oh,
What's going on?
let me whip it out.
Oh, shit.
You didn't talk about where I was
Oh, no, I'm number one ally now. I didn't even recognise it. I was too good for that. Well, anyway, while she's doing that, my favourite song at the minute has got to be Gilded Lily by...
That's mine! I introduced you to that shit!
No. Right, my favourite song at the minute has got to be probably a mashup that I found on YouTube of Slipknot, Linkin Park and Eminem. It's basically a bunch of songs put together from Linkin Park's Until the End, or whatever it is. Is it called Until... No, it's called Until the End on YouTube. What's the actual song called? I tried so hard.
Oh.
I can't remember. In the
end.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Bosh.
Anyway, Alice, have you found your song, or did you
Yes.
just think I was going to forget?
Basic White Bitch, Shirt by Scissor.
By
I
what?
thought it was Caesar.
Scissor.
It's not Caesar.
Oh,
I swear it's Caesar.
Z-A.
I swear it's
It's
Caesar.
Scissor. She's got a new album out. Stream it, promoting.
Oh,
I'm doing her
You got a
work.
link?
that her
We get royalties.
publishers. Yep.
Royalties, Jim, for us?
10p.
Up 10p. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Jim, what's your favourite song?
Well, you mentioned it, Gilded Lily at the moment. That shit bangs.
It's a good
by
song.
Culture,
Yeah, I know.
mate.
Like, I wake up every morning.
It's on my it's in my room now on really full volume.
You know when... I have a really good question for you. You know how he has to listen to that on full volume to fall asleep? Does that not piss you off? I can't hear it from my room because I put my AirPods in, but fucking hell, I'd be banging on that fucking
You
door.
just hear me just going, blast, just singing my heart
He
out.
literally plays it as loud as he can on my fucking speakers. It's awful. Oh, should we talk about our setup that we've done in your room?
Ooh, it is.
We should do a TikTok room tour.
There'll be if you check the TikTok, there will be a little room tour on there.
Oh, yes.
Once we get an inflatable sofa in there,
Mm-hmm.
bosh.
It's going to be the lad pad.
Lad pad.
Welcome for Slay Queens as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
But basically, I've moved in half my fucking room to Jin's room, basically. All I've got in my room now is a bed and an Xbox that's plugged into nothing.
Your room will be pimped out soon.
It will be after Christmas. We've got the poker table coming in.
Ooh.
So my room's basically going to be the poker room and my place where I sleep. And Jin's room's basically the communal area where we watch movies, listen to music, chill out. It's very fun.
You mentioned the C word. Just as we wrap this up.
C word.
Christmas.
Oh. Fucking hell. I thought I said it. Jesus. I was like, please. Anyway, Christmas. You're not thinking about the same C word. Continue.
Well, anyway, what are our thoughts on Christmas?
I love Christmas. But I'm not Christian, so I can't love Christmas.
I don't feel like you have to be Christian to enjoy Christmas. I feel like it's very separate.
Don't be racist, please.
Oh,
Cultural
my bad.
appropriation.
Technically, I'm culturally appropriating.
You're what?
Because
You
I
are.
support Christmas.
Yeah, so stop, please. We're endangered people.
Can I just apologise to all the Christians?
To all of us hard done by Christian white people, you know?
I'm sorry for culturally appropriating Christmas.
It's okay. We'll
Please
forgive
take
you
my
this one
apology.
time. But now I get to wear that bracelet that you wear.
Oh, my curry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Would you call it a curry?
Oh, cut that. Anyway, so
continue.
your thoughts on Christmas?
Christmas, love it.
Merry Christmas.
I love Christmas. Christmas is so fun.
Alex, thoughts on Christmas?
What is there to say? Christmas is Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Even though I'm not feeling it this year, it's been shit.
That is true.
But
I can't feel the festive at the minute.
I think it's
like-
due to uni. It must be uni because we haven't got the whole build up.
I still
it's
feel like
just
August.
chocolate, Christmas,
My mum was
little
trying to
treats in there.
I feel like it was
Shove it
August
through the
yesterday,
hole.
and it just got
Avocado
cold all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but not very epic. I mean, but I do like Christmas typically. My parents always go all out for it. It's very fun.
Because you get free shit.
Yeah, you get free soil. Soil fight. Oh, soil fight. Yeah, but other than that, it's pretty epic.
We are running.
We're running on an hour.
Wait, just to show something. Actually, no,
1
it's
hour
gone.
left.
Never mind. On my phone, it was showing that I was listening to Guild Lily in my room, but then it just deleted itself.
Did we ask?
Oh.
I don't think so. Anyway, right. We've approached our hour. Obviously, we're going to have to do about 10 minutes of cutting, so it's probably going to be about 50 minutes. But, yeah.
Bows.
Right. Thank you, Alice, for coming on. We've, approached our hour. We're going to do about 10 minutes of cutting.
Yep.
To, obviously not offend anyone, because obviously we've gone over a few cheeky points.
We wanted to make sure that
we approached it with seriousness and, obviously
Serious
sensitivity
points.
and didn't want to upset
And-
anyone. But, yeah. Thank you again, Alice, for coming on. Thank you, Jin, for being my lovely co-host.
Bows.
And we'll catch you guys next week on Tuesday. No,
Wednesday.
not on Tuesday.
Wednesday.
We film on Tuesdays. We upload Wednesdays 8 a.m. when Jin could get the premiere right.
Yep.
Right.
Check out the Instagram, TikTok, everything.
All the socials, Instagram,
Link in bio.
link in the channel bio. We will catch you guys next week. Bosh.